Alright, so check it out. This hood has a lot of little ripples and waves and stuff. But all these little spots, that's a low spot, but all these other ones were like little high spots. I went through and worked all that down. After stripped all this orange off, which that will have been done and all those videos will be edited together. But that's how you gonna get this straight. Believe you me. All those cars you see on TV and Barrett Jackson, all these hot rods and all the stuff that are flat, there's Bondo on them. There's not a lot of people that get a vehicle completely straight and just metal. But I'm gonna skim this. I'm using that Platinum Select. It's that gray stuff, so it doesn't get real hard, or it's not real hard to sand. It's pretty easy to sand. And by the time I'm done, it'll be about maybe 1/8 of an inch. But I'm finna block it down, flatten it on out, and fast forward time lapse. But I'm gonna have my music going, so I'm not gonna be able to have audio, so I'll end up zipping audio out, going faster, me saying. But I'll let y'all see the ending result. It's curved. I mean, but I can do this section, and that section. I can separate it, and then come back and go around the whole edge and get all that like it's supposed to. I pretty much got this stuff. This over here is pretty much done, ready to hit with. I don't know if I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do that Evercoat. That, not slick sand. The whichever one it is. That high build polyester. But that's what I'm gonna end up using over everything. That stuff's thick, so I'll be able to come back, level it out with that. This is Evercoat. That's not a high build primer. I can't remember which one it was, but that was just a primer to cover it up, seal it down, so that water didn't get through it. But I'll get back with y'all when this is knocked down, and I'm gonna place it. Okay, so I got this skimmed in some glaze. Show y'all what I'm using. But y'all probably hear them fans running. It's raining outside. It's been raining about 2 days now. I ain't complaining. We need some rain. But trying to keep, I got the air conditioning on just enough to pull that humidity out of the air. That's the last thing I want. Is some rust be popping up on bare metal. Humidity, moisture, bare metal don't work. The price of materials. I'm not trying to go on a tirade or nothing, but the price of materials has gone up. Them spreaders, I'll be cleaning them up and reusing them. Those spreaders are almost $2 a piece. But if you use 40 or 50 of them, that adds up. That Bondo is $100 a gallon. This glaze is 40, 35, 40. It is what it is. If you want it straight, you gotta spend the money. Ain't no way around. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna sand some more. Turns out, that's what you do when you build an old floor. You sand and sand and sand and sand. And then you think, I'll paint it. I'm done sanding. Nope. Now you color sand it. Then you buff it. Then you're done. Alright, so it's all smooth, flat. For some body work, it doesn't have to just be, but it can be smooth and not flat. It's got to be flat. So when you look down at, well, I'm not trying to have no bodywork channel. I'm just trying to document this build, but it's all about being flat, flowing all together. I'm gonna come back to saying all this. Well, I wiped off. There ain't that going on up there. I'll probably clean that edge up a little bit. Feels a little funny. But see, I've been about an hour and a half. So I knocked all that down in about an hour and a half. So it doesn't take too terribly long, but yep, that's one part. Now I got 3 more sections, which it'd make it easier for me to break it down into sections instead of wiping the whole thing and then going. It gets kind of overwhelming, but if you get one thing done, so I'll get the hood done, then go to this, then go to the fenders and door, or the fender and door. You know, I already did this side, so that'll be ready for primer. That I'll eventually work my way all the way around. The hood done, fenders, both sides, doors, both sides, and then I'll go on to the cab corners, pillars, roof, the rest of the cab. The inside's already done. It's in primer. It's in urethane primer, so I'll still be ready to go. I'll probably go over all that just to make sure there's nothing funny going on in there. The inside will be ready to go whenever I get to that point. Which I still gonna take the cab off and put it on a rotisserie, finish up the bottom. I got quite a bit of stuff to do on the bottom floor. Oh, it's dusty in here now. Yeah, I got a floor brace for the front that I'm gonna have to weld in, but that's gonna be interesting to do with the rockers already on, because I kind of sectioned it in, which this has been years ago that I started on this truck. I did this side correctly, kind of half-assed did that side, but I'm gonna go back and correct that, and then just strip the bottom and bed line it or paint it, whatever I'm gonna do, and go from there. But I'm in this video. It's nearing about 10:30, so I think I'm gonna shut it down for the night. I made a little progress, but y'all stay tuned. I'll continue on tomorrow. But alright, so it's Friday night, working along on this thing. Found me a few little spots. I had to come in and tune up a little bit, but I'm finna get this knocked out and try to see how much I can get done here this evening or tonight, whichever you want to say, and go from there. Hopefully I can get this knocked out, and I can move on to the doors, or door and fender, get this side to match this side, and then move on to the roof and back wall and cab corners and finish it on up and get it in primer in one color again. But y'all stay tuned. Alright, so I'm gonna show you this little piece of equipment, a tool I got. Hopefully that little joker right there is bad too. It will get the dirt up. But let me show y'all. Alright, so see, it's a scissor lift, mid-rise lift, which I can't go all the way that far up because the garage door opener. Obviously, I'm working in a garage, not a shop. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be a whole lot easier to sand on all this stuff and be able to stand and do the sanding operation. Maybe it won't hurt the back as much.
Sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened?
But it lifts it up pretty high. It can go a lot higher. But just to think that I'm right at 6 foot, and this is standing right at my face, so my neck is about here. So the header's kind of in the way. I could pop that header off and lift it up just flat without those feet kicked up, and it'd give me a little bit extra room. But yeah, I got it from my uncle. He sold it to me, and it's definitely gonna help out with this build and stuff in the future too. Other little cars are like doing a brake job instead of having a floor jack and all that, and just zoop, flip it up. Now you can't do no real heavy mechanic work, but you can get a lot done. But y'all stay tuned. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Out.